with Mrs. Clark, reading teachers, and we're going to talk about what she's reading and some of the stuff she liked to read in middle school or that she likes to read now that's middle school books. So, hi, Mrs. Clark. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How's everybody else out there doing? I am ready to go back to school.
Me too. I really, really am. This isn't normal for us, and my body knows that.
Yeah.
So, what are you up to? What are you reading?
Oh, right now I am reading an adult read that's set in World War II about the effect in France on the champagne industry. So it's historical fiction. I read a lot of those. I think it's called The Winemaker's Wife.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, so that allows me to escape and go over to France and be in wartime. Not any different than this.
So far, Mr. Johnson has talked about historical books he reads, and Mr. Stuker and Mr. Hill all talk about historical books they read. So not a lot of contemporary readers among our staff so far.
No, but I did. Oh, I also read a lot of books. I have a book of the month that I get a book. And so that's like just random. I'll just pick a book that looks good by the cover. Yes,
Nice.
I do that. And
that's okay.
They've been set in different parts of the world, like Islam background, and then Africa, and learning about different cultures and how and their contemporary.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you do a lot of middle school and young adult reading also. Do you have any current ones that you can talk about, or do you want to talk about some of your middle school memories?
Oh, my current ones, I have a lot of those because I'm always reading to see what the kids want to read next. Mm-hmm. So let me get them from my bookshelf on the floor.
All right.
So I found this series, and it's about superheroes, and I just loved it. So this is actually the second one. The first one's Renegades, and then this is the second one, and then the third one's Supernova, and I don't think I've read that yet.
Oh, we might have it here. Maybe I'll put it off for you.
Yeah, but I love it because it's superheroes, and that is not something that I was interested in. But this book is so well written, so I love this author. And then I always have my favorite book that I would like to read every year. It's Pictures of Hollis Woods. And
I've never read that one. I need to do that.
It's about the foster care system, and just a really super heartfelt book. So, and I always like it, but there's nothing on the back to tell you what it's about. So it's a little hard to sell, but that's one of my favorites. And oh my gosh, authors. Oh, Gordon Korman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And this one is, I teach it to my 7th graders. So they're all into this. And then we try to get them to read the other ones like Restart and all those, but totally full of humor. I was just talking to my kids about, I used to read dystopia.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we're living dystopia right now.
We absolutely are. The first post I did about a book list with dystopian books, because we totally are. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I remember I read this book a long time ago, and it's a series, and a plague attacks the country, and people are trying to get away. Thank goodness we are not shutting down our states and making you get out of our states. So, but I'm like, no, I'm not recommending this at this time. No, not gonna happen.
We need something light.
Yes. But I used to journal every single book that I read out of our classroom, and I stopped doing that. But I will go back, and I started in 2011. I'm like, oh my gosh, I read that in 2011. So,
are you on Goodreads?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of how I keep track of what I read. I start a book list every year, and then make sure that, or I start a shelf every year that's labeled with the year, and then I put any books I read on that shelf so I can go back and see when I read stuff. And it's amazing how long ago I read some things that feel like I just read them a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as far as reading in middle school, I was totally into romance. Anything, and I would buy my own books. I did not ever step into the library.
Oh,
Ever.
no.
I know they weren't inviting. I mean, I went
Yeah.
to my public library, but our school libraries were not inviting like ours. But I would buy my own romance and I had a bookshelf headboard and they were
Oh.
just full of the romance series.
So like silhouette romances.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I get those at the grocery store. I love one of those.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then, high school I had to read different genres in there. And then college, I did not read at all.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I know. I mean, picture books because I was doing my education work, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I did an emphasis on reading in college, and I had to take a young adult lit class that I read a lot in. So I like that. But you know what I loved the most in middle school? And so I went through Kalispell School District. So I was at Linderman for 7th grade. And that's when I discovered Sweet Valley High. And I could read one of those a day. So I had to use the library because she had them. And I'd read them faster than I could ever buy them. So I had to do that.
Yeah.
Sweet Valley High. Oh my gosh.
Memories.
Oh, I know. Good
And of
time.
course, I read Judy Blume. That was our middle school.
Yep,
Yep.
for sure. Those are classics.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by and chatting with us today. And I hope everything goes well and that we get to see you in person soon.
Yes. Awesome. Miss everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.